morning, dear viewers and listeners. Shock and consternation, grief and disbelief grips the inhabitants of the opaque city of Limbe in the Fako division of the restive southwest region following the tragic and mysterious death of Frederick Sone, director of the Youth Empowerment Center at the Divisional Delegation of Youth Affairs and Civic Education for Fako Division, who reportedly took his life by hanging around 8 a.m. yesterday in his office at the Sapa Road neighborhood. The cause and reasons for his death shall be deciphered in this edition of the news. Also, the art of translation is rapidly evolving in Cameroon, with focus laid on the computer-assisted translation from official to local languages, with the sole objective of preserving the Cameroonian culture. In this edition, we shall discover a researcher from the Advanced School of Translation and Interpretation from the University of Boya who makes that dream a reality. Good morning again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to CAM1 Radio. The frequency, of course, is 99.5 FM, and this is the People's Radio. Siaka Coulibaly, interim resident coordinator of the United Nations Systems, has saluted the country's hospitality to over 500,000 refugees from neighboring countries. He made the appreciation in Yaoundé during deliberations with officials of the Ministry of Economy, Planning and Regional Development. The interim resident coordinator of the United Nations System, Siaka Coulibaly, and the Secretary General at the Ministry of Economy, Planning and Regional Development, Jan Chofu, discussed on ways which could be used to integrate refugees into the development plans and programs in Cameroon. Meantime, makeshift markets have become a common sight in the southwest region, despite the evolution of the economic and demographic landscape of the region. In Limbe, for instance, makeshift structures are found in all the markets, from the Newtown main market to the Church Street market and even the Isokolo market. These makeshift structures could also be spotted in other commercial zones in Boya, Mutengene and Tiko, such as the Mile 17 checkpoint and Clark's Quarters commercial hubs. Residents say they respond to the economic need of the growing population, but equally create urban disorder, hygiene and sanitation issues. It is for this reason that town planning engineers have voiced out their opinion on how to salvage the situation and growing problem. Now take a listen to two senior town planning engineers by the names of Dr. Foba Cletus and Mr. Manyoko Lucas in the following excerpts.
Market that you find around Boya. You know, it is an element of urban disorder, but as the town planning next state, in every town, markets constitute one of the social facilities that we have in a town, and as such, it should be well located and well planned. But the problem is today, as you must have noticed, everywhere it is common to see this makeshift market. To solve this problem, first of all, it should begin with the municipal authorities. They should properly implement. In the Boya Municipal Council, there is a particular unit for the market, technical unit for the urban development to maintain order. All of those markets that have been constructed, they should do everything for people to occupy. In some cases, the markets are not also properly constructed. If you can construct the ultra-modern markets, it will make sure that the sheds are well secured.
Normally, when we talk of planning, it means we are wanting to put order. Unfortunately, when that planning was not done earlier, it is already a disorder. Take, for example, we want to construct an access road along which those makeshift markets have been installed. You want to destroy. You see, that is disorder. To resettle them and reconstruct, there's always that resistance.
The training of over 100 municipal police from councils across the country has begun at the National School of Local Administration. According to the Director General of the National School of Local Administration, Tanyitiku Eno Achobaye, the municipal police plays a vital role in society, and he also says the content of their training program falls in line with the mission of safety, security, and the protection of the population. Take a listen to him in the following excerpt.
The syllabus is a direct consequence of the competence or powers of the municipal police as laid down in a decree by the head of state. So the syllabus we crafted for them revolves on issues like ethics and deontology, respect of human rights, respect for state institutions, non-violent resolution of conflicts and mediation, maintenance of public order, hygiene and sanitation, easing of circulation, and surveillance of public buildings. And we also have part of the training that is on public safety. Finally, one of the last components, which will be very largely simulations and demonstrations, which is civil protection. Coming back to simulation, simulations are a natural consequence of the theory part. I'll give you an example. If you have to do crowd control, you don't do crowd control sitting in an office. You do crowd control on the field in a place where there's a crowd. And so we have, amongst our trainers, experts from national security and others who are used to doing crowd controls in areas where crowds gather. That is an example of the kind of simulation that is a substantial part of.
That was the Director General of the National School for Local Administration, Tiku Enwachobaye Tanyi. In the same light, the Minister of Decentralization and Local Development, George Elanga Obam, during his inaugural speech, said all municipal police must fulfill their duties by completing the training at the National School of Local Administration, in its acronym NASLA. He further reiterated that the training is part of efforts to professionalize the service. Take a listen to the minister in the following excerpt.
Are the programs what we want? The teachers, are they good? How were they selected? Classrooms where those who are trained are going to be trained. Is it a good environment? I can say yes to all these questions. It is very important for those who want to work in the municipal police to be well selected and then to be well trained. What I saw today, I can say in conclusion that all the elements are together to have a good training process for a good municipal police. But still, we are eager to see the end of the thing in 3 months and to look how they are working on the field. I am optimistic. I want them to be citizens who are contributing to the development of their territories, who are helping the population to help make sure that what is said in market is good quality. I want the life to change in our cities because they are doing their job the way it is expected. This is the main change I'm waiting for. For the trainers, I know most of them are good professionals, so I think it's going to be okay with them. The trainees, I don't know them, but they were selected by the mayors and by the NASLA. So I expect that the job was well done. Now they should be ready to take the training that is given to them, to go to their classroom every day and to work hard so that at the end of the 3 months, they are good municipal police.
We talk something else. An expert in translation and ICTs has created technological tools to ease the translation of English and French into 8 local languages in Cameroon. The intellect and the researcher, Dr. Wowe Alexis, presented the tools while presenting a PhD from the Advanced School of Translation and Interpretation from the University of Boya. He focused on the computer-assisted translation from official to local languages with the sole objective to preserve the Cameroonian culture. In the following excerpt, Dr. Alexis Bowe tells us more about this brilliant initiative.
Translation is not done a lot into Cameroonian languages, whereas we are at a junction where the government of the country is promoting national languages, and there is a serious need also for official documents to be understood by the common man. The majority of the people, they understand their national languages. If we provide some tools that can help in translating official documents that are given out in English and in French into Cameroonian languages, all Cameroonians will get good knowledge. For the Fambeti cultural area, we choose the Bulu and Ewondo languages. For the Grassfield, we choose Monjumba and Mongaka languages. For the Sawa cultural area, we choose the Bassa language and Mokwe language, that is the language spoken by the Bakweri people. And for the Sudano-Sahelian, we choose the Tupuri language and the Fufulde language.
The African Development Bank, in its acronym AFDB, has entered into partnership with the South Korea Customs Services (KCS) to improve customs service delivery and boost trade exchanges in Cameroon and Africa at large. The AFDB reports that thanks to the deal, Africa is set to benefit from improved customs technologies to boost intra-African trade. A report from the World Health Organization has revealed that close to 1.8 million people risk getting sick for not engaging into enough exercises. The communication team of the WHO published the report recently, and the global body said the finding is based on a study its researchers carried out in collaboration with scholars published in the Lancet Global Health Journal. The Rice Value Chain Development Project (RVCDP) and the Institute of Agricultural Research for Development (IRAD) have signed two memoranda of understanding for the production of 9 tons of pre-basic seeds of adapted rice varieties and the training of certified rice seed production cooperatives respectively. The two MOUs were signed in Yaoundé. The Minister of Finance, Luis Paul Mutazi, has revealed that the state budget for 2025 fiscal year will witness a slight increase. The member of government made the revelation while facing the press in Yaoundé. The pro-Robert Kona faction of the opposition Cameroonian Party for National Reconciliation (PCRN) has suffered a setback in court. This comes as Far North Court of Appeal ruled rejecting its request for stay of execution of the ruling of the Mara Magistrate Court. The court had prescribed its Congress of May 25th, 26th, 2024. Three Cameroonian authors have made a detailed compilation of Cameroon's music golden ages in a new publication. The book, titled 100 Key Titles of Cameroonian Music, is derived from a plethora of rich heritage through 70 years of musical excellence. Now, on to our major lead story. The staff at the Divisional Delegation of Youth Affairs and the Civic Education for FACO, located on Sapa Road, were thrown into shock and disbelief on the morning of July 11th. They arrived at the office to discover that Frederick Sone, the head of the Multipurpose Youth Empowerment Center at their delegation, had committed suicide in his own office. Frederick Sone, a married man and a father of one, was last seen in the office on Wednesday, July 10th until about 5 p.m. His colleagues expressed their inability to comprehend what might have driven him to take his own life. Colleagues who had communicated with Sone in the days leading up to the incident found it difficult to fathom the reasons behind his actions. This note was allegedly found on Fred's office desk. However, a message posted on one of his social media accounts warned, "Be careful," I quote, "with some of the sites you visit on Facebook." Additionally, a note allegedly found at his desk suggested he took this step to protect his family. A state counsel from the Limbe Legal Department arrived at the scene with medical officers and security personnel. Sone was found hanging from a rope tied to a metallic point on the ceiling. After a preliminary autopsy investigation, his body was released from the spot and taken to the regional hospital mortuary for preservation as investigations continue. Now we talk something else and move on to our international page immediately. Kenyan President William Ruto has fired almost his entire cabinet after weeks of anti-government protests. He announced that on Thursday, only Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi have been left in their post, the president said on Thursday. NATO officials are discussing taking action to reclaim some Chinese-owned infrastructure projects in Europe should a wider conflict with Russia break out in the east of the continent. Three officials involved in the discussions told us here on the CAM1 radio. Meantime, a piece of woolly mammoth skin excavated from the Siberian permafrost has been found to contain fossil of chromosomes in a first of its kind, a discovery according to a new study. And in British police have also launched a manhunt after two suitcases containing human remains were discovered on the England's Clifton Suspension Bridge. Avon and the Somerset police have talked about this issue in detail. The US uncovered a plot by the Russian government to kill the CEO or chief executive officer of a German arms manufacturer sending weapons to Ukraine. Now we talk sports in this edition of the news. Victoria United of Limbe has been drawn against the Samatex of Ghana in the first and the second preliminary of the 2024 to 2025 CAF Champions League. It should be noted that the first leg of the first preliminary round will be played from the 16th to the 18th of August 2024, while matches of the second leg are set to be played from the 23rd to the 25th of August 2024. Also, from clubs of Favu Club of Baham rather will face Papa Sufe of Liberia in the first and the second preliminary rounds of the CAF Confederation Cup. The away and return leg of the first round have been scheduled for August 8th to 16th and the 23rd to 25th. The draws of both competitions were made yesterday at the CAF headquarters in the Egyptian capital, Cairo. Still in sports, Colombia advanced to the Copa America final following a 1-0 win over Uruguay at the Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina on Wednesday, but the game was marred by unsavory scenes after full time. The match was testy and featured 7 yellow cards and 1 red card after Colombia's Daniel Munoz was ejected in the first half after being shown a second yellow card. Tempers flared even more after the match. And it's with that note that we end this edition of the news on the CAM1 Radio, the People's Radio. The frequency, of course, is 99.5 FM. For our presentation, I was Ekome Charles Abane. See you on Monday, same time, same place on this network.